Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be a early impressions video of the Tiger Esports EBA mousepad. I'm sure you guys can agree with me just looking at the pad. It's probably one of the most aesthetically pleasing pads that has been released in the past 10 or 15 years. It is not a desk pad size. I wish it was because of how badass this thing looks. But it is certainly a big enough play area for anyone to enjoy this in competitive shooters, competitive play. I think that the packaging is equally as visually aesthetically pleasing. The Chinese calligraphy on the box is just absolutely awesome. It's really phenomenal with some of the shiny prints that they've utilized on the box. It really gives it a really nice flair. And if this thing was on the shelf in a Best Buy or what have you, I mean, it would certainly draw a lot of attention. But on the back of the box is actually really all of the information that you could possibly need for the mouse pad. Bottom of the pad is a slip resistant rubber base. It is 4 millimeters thick. And they actually advertise this as a high density braid material. And I can say that out of the box, it certainly is a cloth pad. And you can see, I know my zoom is not the fastest, but you can see that there are little oval braids within this cloth pad that really give it just a very unique texture. And I feel out of the box that it is a very good control pad. This thing has a lot of speed when you try to get it to go, but really this thing has just insane control and insane stopping power. I've got another look at the MPC 890 on the left and the Tiger Esports EVA on the right, and it kind of gives you another look at this high density braid cloth material. I've got Tiger Arc V2s on my Death Adder V2, custom made by Nacho Customs. Shout out to Nacho Customs. I mean, this thing is just absolutely beautiful. I got this about 1.5 years ago, and it looks like the day that I picked it up from Nacho. I absolutely love this thing. But again, Tiger Arc V2 skates on this. You can kind of hear how they sound against that high density cloth texture. And against the Cordura fabric on the MPC 890. And I've got Hyperglides on my Viper Ultimate. So guys, all of this gameplay footage I did take today in the 7 hours of using this pad. And out of the box, I did have two of my, just two phenomenal games in Apex. I dropped 19 kills followed by 13 kills, 5,000 damage followed by 4,000 damage. And that's on the pad out of the box. And my first impressions of the pad, I think that the high density cloth material here, at first, honestly, when I touched it, it kind of reminded me a little bit of the MP510, and then I really realized like it's not abrasive like the MP510 at all, and it's just more comfortable using it over time, and I think that the 4 millimeter thickness actually really helps in that regard as well. The stopping power on this thing is absolutely insane. It feels pretty fast to get it moving, and you can really feel a sense of control, and I think that the level of control, I didn't think I would actually like it as much as I do, but my ability to micromanage on this pad and keep my crosshair on targets is just phenomenal. I think that out of the box, this is probably the best I've performed on a mouse pad in a long time. But to show you guys how the combination of the Vaxi outset performs on the Tiger Esports EVA, I'm going to cut into the Apex clips now. So that was my very first game of Apex out of the box. I dropped 19 kills, and I'm sorry that I wasn't able to, I accidentally did not clip all 19 of the kills, which I was trying to do for you guys. But, you know, my first impressions out of the box, and I'm kind of slapping myself. You know, again, I took this thing out of the box and my jaw dropped because of how good it looked. But when I touched the material, I knew it was going to be more of a control pad, and a part of me was telling myself, I don't know if I'm going to like this because I'd like more of the faster pads. And I didn't know how the control pad was going to work in Apex because I really like fast pads in Apex for tracking purposes. And I thought the pad was going to be awesome in Valorant, and it is. But when I took this thing into Apex and I started getting warmed up, and then I moved from my 5,000 damage game into my second game, I mean, I really, really like this surface. It's really good. And in Valorant, I have kind of been mishmashing, which I probably shouldn't do for competitive climbing, but I actually have been using my Nacho Customs Death Adder V2 along with my Razor Viper Ultimate, and I've been using the Outset still in Valorant. I, for whatever reason, just recently have felt a little bit more consistent in Valorant with my Razor Viper Ultimate. So I'm going to show you guys some clips in Valorant with the combination of the Viper Ultimate with Hyperglides on the Tiger Esports EBA.
Oh my god, he just... Flank from mid, flank from mid. What was that problem?
Enemy remaining.
Worthless.
Close, last one.
Enemy remaining.
Stick it.
I don't believe that this pad has released yet on addiceinc or by Esports Tiger, but I highly recommend you guys keep your notifications on, because when this pad does release, with how good this pad looks and how well of a control pad it is, I think that this pad may be one that has a lot of attention and could potentially sell out. So I highly recommend you guys keep tabs on the Esports Tiger EBA. As far as my early impressions, I think that the pad is a really, really good control pad. And again, I did not think that this pad was going to work for me, and it ended up really being consistent in both Valorant and Apex, and I threw up amazing scores out of the box in both games, and was able to climb in both Apex and Valorant tonight. So I can say that my first gaming session, my first impression of the mousepad is a very positive one. And that really goes to show that the Esports Tiger lineup may have something for you that maybe you don't think it would have worked. There's just such an array of different textures, different materials, and different aesthetic looks that I highly, highly recommend giving a try if you are in the market for a new mouse pad. Give a try for one of these Esports Tiger pads. You might find something that really works for you, that you really weren't kind of aiming in that direction, and then you play with it and you love it. That's definitely what happened for me tonight. And I'm going to keep using this thing. I will update the review in probably 4 weeks or so to give you guys a full review of the durability and how the material changes, if it does, over the course of 4 weeks worth of gameplay. And I'll see you guys for the next review. Peace.